Hi everybody. So earlier today we went to the St. Augustine Alligator Farm. It's one of our favorite places to head to whenever the weather's nice, and it has reptiles. So in this, you're going to see some presentations, some alligator feedings, some up close and personal shots of some of the creatures. Let us know if you like it. We'd love to do more there.
So here's about the building again. You heard, and that's April doing her whale talk. Again, they were across the street, became this center in 1937. And there's a little, you can read about it.
On the cameras.
You want to show your stamp? You got your stamp. Yay! The all-important stamp. This is where they keep some of their hatchlings. There's not as many. Everybody seems to be hiding. There's Mr. Bones.
Where's your baby?
Hey, Mr. Bones.
I know. Come here.
We got to see them feed him one day, and that was very cool.
Oh,
Whoa!
Mr. Bones was in there.
Because it's the reflection. The reflection on the glass looks like Mr. Bones is in here. He is big. Holy cow. It says that's a giant river turtle. It's pretty darn big. That little caiman back there. He always looks like a statue. Until he moves. Oh, look at all the babies. There's one in the pool. He's way over there. Everybody else is hanging out under the heat lamp.
I should join Mr. Bones.
Can't really say I blame them. They're so funny. They're getting big. Huh? Yeah. They're getting big.
So join Mr. Bones.
This is where they keep all the big guys and gals. Yeah, yeah, it might be a little cold under the bridge for Boomer.
Yoga. I did something like that in yoga.
Was it the alligator pose? Yes.
No. I wish it was though. Guys, look at the one in the other two. Are you Boomer? Are you Mr. Derposaurus? Hello. These guys are just like looking dinosaurs. The one in the water.
Nope.
I think
He changed his mind.
Maybe that's Boomer. Guys, look at the water.
Okay, buddy.
That bird has a little man bun.
What?
One of the birds looks like he has a little man bun. Look, see, they look like they have little man buns.
I don't see. Oh. April says these guys look like they have little man buns. I don't know if you can see them though.
This looks like a rooster.
Hello.
So obviously, St. Augustine Alligator Farm isn't just reptiles and crocodilians. They also have some bird friends and some mammal friends. These guys are pretty cool.
Oh, so one's on the zip line.
Oh.
What we have there? Hey, Gilby's monkey.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
It's hard to
Another.
record through the screen though.
Yeah.
Oh, is there? They're cute. Yeah, there's always an alligator. Yeah, under the little waterfall over here. Pretty sure it's always the same one, but gotcha.
They're great for climbing over rocks and tree stumps and running around through the dirt. However, if you think about a stumpy leg trying to paddle through the water, not a very good swimmer, right? So those elephantine legs belong to tortoises, the land dwellers. Semi-aquatic turtles, like pond turtles you'll see around here in Florida, they do have toes and claws because they can scurry through the dirt, but they have webbing between their toes as well because they like to paddle through the water. And then you have fully aquatic turtles, like sea turtles. They don't really ever get out of the water very often, maybe just to nest, so they don't really need toes to move on land. They just have those big flipper paddle looking arms. Great, walks right past it. So you guys want to know, how big can they get? When you go look at those big adults back behind the theater, all the slightly smaller ones aren't smaller because they're young, they're smaller because they're girls, and they each weigh around 250 pounds. So even those smaller adults are very, very heavy already. The big males, those two large ones of the adults, are again, they're males, that's why they're so large, but they each weigh about 400 pounds. These tortoises here, let's see if we can see it. There we go. See that extra wrinkly, saggy skin around the neck and the arm area? All that extra skin up in there can actually store water for the tortoise. These tortoises can potentially live for months without drinking any water at all. So when you go look at those adults again, remember I said the big two are the big two males. Pick out the one with the bumpier shell. His name is Dirk and he's 107 years old. Don't you worry about Dirk, he's going strong. The oldest tortoise, Galapagos tortoise that we know of, was 177 years old. So my money's on Dirk. I think he's gonna break that record. So in about 60, 70, 80 years, I'm gonna plan a big party. You're all invited to come. Yeah, we're gonna congratulate him. Other side of the world. Off the coast of Australia, there's a place called the Solomon Islands. That's where you might find yourself a Solomon Island skink. They're also known as a monkey-tailed skink or a prehensile-tailed skink. And Solomon here is about 27 years old, which is pretty old for his species, so I won't make him do this trick for too long, but I do want to show you just what that means. I'm not holding on to this animal. He is certainly holding on to me with his tail. So that's what prehensile means. Any animal that you hear has a prehensile tail means he has all these strong muscles and dexterity in the tail. He can loop it around things and hold on nice and tight and strong. Then followed at the end of those long, or rather strong legs are long toes. At the end of those toes are long, sharp claws, which is why he gets to hang out on this branch rather than my hand or arm. It doesn't feel very good, I promise. But when you have long, sharp claws, really strong arms, and an extra limb, you can really move around in what kind of area really well. Where do you think he lives? Trees. He's really good at climbing with all those features. So one of the largest living species is skink. They do get over 2 feet long from the very tip of that tail all the way up to the nose there. And they actually are fully herbivorous. So we usually think about our lizards eating some bugs and things too, right? They don't really do that. They stick to the plants, kind of like that Galapagos tortoise does. They're just gonna eat leaves and flowers, veggies and fruits and things like that if they find it. This skink has live birth. So the female forms an egg and baby inside her, basically hatches internally, comes out live and ready to go. Now, the first sensory organ are those beautiful eyes. They do have pretty decent eyesight, but he relies really heavily off of something sort of unexpected. And it's that cute pink tongue he keeps flicking out. See if we can get a little better view of him. I'm sure you've seen it a couple times. But that pink tongue he's flicking out, do you think he's blowing raspberries at the camera, or is he doing something else when he flicks his tongue out? He's smelling. Great job. So he sticks his tongue out, gathers all these little chemical receptors in the air. He brings back all those little particles on his tongue, rubs it against the roof of his mouth where he has a Jacobson's organ. And that tells his brain what he's sensing around him.
Oh, did you get knocked off balance? Thank you.
So headed in. Ooh, busy. This guy inside and got one outside as well. He's big. And that is a king cobra. I hope you guys can see him. I think it's a viper type. Oh, here we go, right here. Kind of a little closer here, a little dirtier, but. Alright, so now we're coming to Maximo, and looks like he's outside today. He's not down in the water. So here's Maximo. He's a Australian crocodile, saltwater crocodile.
Yes, and it's look at his teeth. His teeth are
So this is Dirk.
He's 107 years old.
Getting a little sun in his eye. And then there's his girl. Can't see, I'll go a little closer. But they kind of stay together. I don't know if you can see her or not. It's because she's sitting in the shade.
He follows us with his face.
But,
He likes us.
hey, buddy. Now, you guys may hear noises too over top of us sometimes. There is the zip line right here that you can zip line over a lot of the pads, the places where the animals are. So you kind of, here's an idea right above me. There's a rope bridge here, and then you come to the stand, and then you are going to zip line over. So
you can do it on a cactus.
I like this, so it covers the bun.
As they say at Ears to You, you must show the internet food. So this is the kids meal, chicken tenders, fruit cup, and a drink. I've already, yeah, or you can get chips. Daddy and I are sharing a meal that's 2 hot dogs, and Logan's having our French fries. We have, of course, we have a whole collection of these color changing cups, but they're a great souvenir, and you get free refills all throughout the day. We're heading over to the feeding, where they feed, oh gosh, a whole bunch of alligators and I think 2 crocodiles.
Fair warning, there will be wedding.
So it's very cool. I tried to record some of the crocodiles in the land of crocodiles, but unfortunately the glare made that a little bit difficult.
Croc pellets. It's a specialized dry diet made by an exotic feed company called Missouri. Missouri does make a variety of exotic feeds, but this one right here is designed by veterinarians, crocodilian biologists, and by the staff and professionals from our very own park. They all got together and decided what needed to go into one convenient little pellet to make for happy, healthy, and long-living alligators, as well as most of the crocodilian species throughout our park. Oh, we're seeing this nice, tasty pellet here. The rats. Some of you find this gross, some of you find it exciting. That's not necessarily the most important thing here. As a zoo, our top priority will always be the health and welfare of our animals. offer the delicious fur meat, bones, and guts that this rodent has to offer. So when we feed items like this, we do typically feed them out whole. So the alligators can benefit from all the nutritional aspects as well as even mentally stimulating aspects of getting to gobble up, sink their teeth into something that looks a little bit more like what they might be eating out in the wild, out of the water. If they had a nice clear path, what an alligator does to jump is actually put its extremely powerful tail directly underneath them. If they swipe that powerful tail full of laterally compressed muscle back and forth, an alligator can actually potentially blast about 2/3 of its body up and out of the water. So that's that big head, that big belly, all the way down to the hind limb. So it's an incredible feat for such a massive animal. Come back here, buddy.
So again, that's it for the day. Hope you guys saw again. We've got right here, that is the zip line. The white building is Alligator Farm, 125 years. We're gonna call it a day. So here's what we say at the end. Love, hugs, and belly rubs.